It's pouring down rain. The officials coming out. The volunteers are coming out. The Pride of the Southland Band is forming the giant T. The lights have been turned on at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. You see the reflections in the pools of water as the rain comes pouring down. Homecoming 1984. Memphis State coming in with a record of 5-3-1. Tennessee 4-2-1. Perhaps the best Memphis State team in history. They've played some tough people tough. The Volunteers are ready. Massed at the north end of the football field, and as the balls race onto the field, it's football time in Tennessee. This is the homecoming game for 1984. Tennessee played its first homecoming game in 1916 against Vanderbilt. And the cheerleaders already soaked, the officials soaked, so sit back and enjoy it. It'll be raining. It certainly is right now, and there you see Tennessee with number 10, Tony Robinson. Some of the warm-ups in this to acquaint you with just exactly what kind of traction there is on the... It looks like glass, really, but the traction is not all that bad, to be perfectly honest with you. But, of course, time alone will tell how much a factor the rain will play in the outcome of this contest. Memphis State has won the toss. Astor Sizemore is the referee, and Memphis State says we'll wait till the second half to make our decision. That means Tennessee will have its option here, and the Volunteers have elected to receive, and there's Glasson, who will be kicking off. Fine field goal kicker for this Memphis State team, and an excellent kickoff man as well. And back deep, that's Pete Panuska, who's going to be returning the kickoff. There you see the UT at the 50-yard line is nothing more than a reflection of the lights beaming down the center of the field. And here's the kick, and this homecoming game is underway. Panuska juggles it, goal line, 5, 10, 15, 20, stumbles forward to the 23 or 24-yard line as the Brick, New Jersey sophomore returns the kickoff. And Tennessee goes on offense, first down. At quarterback for the Volunteers will be Tony Robinson, a junior from Tallahassee. The running backs, Johnny Jones, senior, Munford, Tennessee, and the fullback is B.B. Cooper from Huntsville, Alabama. We'll set that offensive line for you in a moment as Memphis State lines up. This is Robinson. Pass complete. Vince Carter. Oh, he is banged and hit hard. Carter was listed as a doubtful performer. He was injured, and he has been re-injured right here, as you see. This very aggressive and intense Memphis State defense hitting hard. There you see the initial hit which Carter breaks through, but then over three people on top of him. He leaves the football game, and Tennessee will have it second down. 0-0, the game getting underway. 67 for Tennessee in the offensive line, Bill Mayo. Over the ball, Raleigh McKenzie. Both are having outstanding years. And that's Todd Upton at guard on the other side. Wilkerson and Smith are the tackles. Robinson in trouble. Long pass is, well, incomplete. Well, it was caught. But unfortunately for Tennessee, at least, only 11 can play. And all of them have to be inbounds. And on the play, well, there you see that Memphis State was guilty of holding. So that penalty gives Tennessee a first down and 10 to go. The Volunteers in possession, 0-0 to score. Tennessee in Memphis and Tennessee territory. Long pass, Robinson is overthrown. Now, Memphis State is lining up virtually with everybody on the line of scrimmage. They bring the quarterback and the strong safety. Let's take a second look. Give you some idea of the kind of defense and give you some idea of the lick taken by Tony Robinson as blitzing from the far side comes the cornerback. And there you see it's going to be a very rugged, physical football game. Tennessee on the incomplete pass, second down. 0-0 the score. There you see once again Memphis State creeping up on defense. Handoff goes Johnny Jones, and he is knocked down. So that defense just overpowers the offensive line and the Memphis State fans. And there's a good representation from Memphis in Neyland Stadium for this game. Coming alive as Johnny Jones is decked for a loss. And so Tennessee will now have it. Second down, something like 12 yards to go. Ball at the 49-yard line, the 39-yard line of Tennessee. That's McKenzie. Here's the give. Jones, 40, 45. Jones breaks up, and he's all by himself. Nobody's there. And it's Jones racing all the way. Johnny Jones from Munford, Tennessee. Give him 6. Touchdown, Big Orange. Memphis State playing with all of those people on the line of scrimmage. Once he breaks the line of scrimmage, there's nobody left. Chasing him, that fine outside linebacker Harris, but he'll never catch Johnny Jones, who just streaked 61 yards, and he indicates exactly what happened. It's a touchdown for the Volunteers. And Tennessee jumps on top by a score of 6-0. Number 15 is Jack Sells. He'll be holding as Poivre Vase will come on to attempt the extra point. The kick is good. 1 minute, 45 seconds has gone by, and Tennessee jumps on top of Memphis State by a score of 7-0. And the Volunteer offense reacts beautifully to the Memphis State defense. The Tigers playing that gambling defense, trying to excite or take Tennessee out of its play. And here you see the give to Johnny Jones. And here you see Johnny Jones, once he's past the line of scrimmage, nobody will catch him. Beautiful shot. Watch the rhythm of the run by Johnny Jones. Right now, there's time out on the field with a score. Tennessee 7, Memphis State nothing. Tennessee leads 7-0. Memphis State now with the football. That's Danny Sparkman, their fine quarterback. Running backs will be James Williams and Roselle Clayton. This is Williams at the corner. He turns it to the 40, to the 45. This is Williams streaking along the far sideline, being chased. Kofer got a hand on him, and then it's Brown. But James Punkin Williams, a senior from Humboldt, Tennessee, turns the corner and streaks 47 yards. Let's take a second look. Fine blocking on the corner. I think it was Clayton, let's be sure. That's Clayton making the block there. Somebody else made the block on the corner. And getting around McKenzie, this will be James Williams. There, he'll break a tackle, missing the dive of Sims. And along the far sideline, being chased, Kofer is the man leading the chase, makes that saving tackle, and then following up to help out Brown. But it's first down, 10 to go, Memphis State, trailing 7-0. State to the line. Williams, he lowers his head and gets inside for maybe 3 yards this time. It'll be second down and 7. Williams this year has gained 713 yards in the 9 games played. As the rain continues to pour, back to throw Sparkman. Here's the pass. It is incomplete. Almost intercepted by a diving Charles Davis. A heavy ball to throw, obviously, as much as it's raining, and that tells you the story much more graphically than we can describe it for you. Third down. Clayton is stopped. And then you see reaction, and a penalty marker has been dropped. A second look at the run by Clayton. There you'll see Duncan, 31, fighting through to get in the flow, and then it's Zander who makes the tackle, rolling him down. And then after the play, a marker was dropped, and Tennessee is going to be called for a personal foul. And so that will move it forward, and it will give Memphis State a first down. Critical call against Tennessee. The Volunteers guilty of a personal foul, and Memphis State, picking up its third first down of the football game, comes to the line. Sparkman at quarterback. Big offensive line, the biggest offensive line in the country. Give to Clayton, slow, but fights his way forward. Roselle Clayton, he's a senior from Memphis. Carried the ball that time for a gain of 3 yards. And it's going to be second down and goal. 7-0, Tennessee leading first quarter. Sparkman, a junior from Collierville, Tennessee. The quarterback, back to the I formation. Tennessee in its goal line defense. Give to Williams, and he fights, but he's knocked down. 51, McKenzie. 45, Zander. And there's Joe Kofer again. A second look. Tennessee reacting well along that line defensively. Duncan slows him. Davis comes in to fill. Zander. And Kofer. It will be third down and goal. Memphis State. 7-0 Tennessee. First quarter of the game. The ball's digging in, staying in a 5-man front. Sparkman, handoff, Williams, Zander, he did not make it. Penalty marker down on this play as well. Tennessee pursuing. As you take a second look from the end zone, the ball stringing out the picket line. There's 45. Carl Zander, senior, Mendham, New Jersey. And then a host of orange-clad Volunteers. Well, the penalty's going to be stepped off against Memphis State. It will be for illegal use of hands, moving it back out to the vicinity of the 13-yard line. Memphis State will have it third down, still goal to go. And Sparkman brings his team to the line. Tennessee jumps back to three-man front. Here's Sparkman looking to throw. He's in trouble. He's going to run with the football. 15, 10, lowers his head. He's stopped at the 7-yard line. Number 1, Andre Kramer. Number 45, Zander again all over the place. And Memphis State is short of the first down. A second look, Tony Simmons, 97, 51. That's McKenzie. And here you see the reaction of Sparkman, Kramer, Zander. Fourth down. So into the game will come Clausen. Clausen has been perfect this year in field goals. He's 13 of 13, his long one being 51 yards. This will be a 24-yard field goal attempt, as Sparkman's going to be holding. The kick is in the air, and it is good. There's time out of the field with the score. Tennessee 7, Memphis State 3. The Volunteers with the football as Tennessee has it at the 17. This is William Howard banging over the right side of the line, moves it forward for a gain of 4 yards. It becomes second down and 6. Attendance announced at 94,930 for the homecoming game. 60,000 or so in their seats. Robinson, his team again in the I formation. 2 wide outs left, 1 right. Ball resting at the 22-yard line. Tennessee up 7-3. Robinson looks. Throws the pass. Here's McGee running into the football. Complete. McGee has the ball. Racing downfield. That is Hooper, who reaches out and trips him up. Tim McGee makes the catch and races for 52 yards. Moving the ball all the way down into Memphis State territory. A second look as you see Robinson catching Memphis State again in that gambling defense with everybody up on the line, forcing man-to-man coverage, and McGee just runs by Hooper. But here, Trell Hooper from Jackson, Tennessee, look at this desperation flip, and he just barely tripped up Tim McGee, who stumbles down. But the Volunteers will have it. First down and 10 to go. McGee injured on the play as he stumbled down at the 25-yard line. Brave fans. What else can you say? Tennessee to the line of scrimmage, leading 7-3. Memphis State again jumping around in that daring defense. You can see the free safeties coming right up onto the line of scrimmage, and the cornerbacks are up playing bump and run with the receivers. Robinson flips the pass. It is incomplete. There's Carter, and he is shoved down after the pass is incomplete. Earlier, Carter went out with the injury. He's returned to the game, and I think he's injured again, as both teams are here to hit in this football game. Robinson to the line. This will be second down. He's checking off of the line of scrimmage. As you'll see, Tennessee shifts into a split-back situation. And here's Robinson, quarterback draw, 20. Robinson, 15, 10, 5. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee. A second look at the quarterback draw. Tony Robinson saw Memphis State come up on the line of scrimmage, and he just faked the give and virtually untouched. Well, he was untouched past the line of scrimmage all the way, so Tennessee is gone with 2 long runs for touchdowns. That one by Tony Robinson, 25 yards. Here's Reve's in to attempt the extra point. Tennessee leading 13-3. As the Vols come with big plays against this defense. Reve soars it high and long and true. There's time out of the field with the score. Tennessee 14, Memphis State 3. Memphis State will have the ball as play is resumed. Tennessee leads by a score of 14-3. Sparkman at quarterback. Memphis State near midfield with the football. And contact established. 31 Duncan for Tennessee jump, but he might have been drawn offside. Let's wait and see. 14-3, Tennessee leading. Well, it's delay of game. So actually what might have happened there, it matters not. It's a 5-yard penalty. He might have been offsides, but it was after the delay of game. Sparkman, fumble, scramble, and let's see. We'll wait for the official who has just told us that has been recovered by Tennessee. 51, Reggie McKenzie up with the recovery. There you see just a bobbled snap with that wet football. And Tennessee defensively watched the pursuit. It's bouncing around, and there's McKenzie. A tough ball to handle, Well, I don't know whether he got the ball or not. Anyway, Tennessee has it, leading 14-3. And the Vols had the ball at the State 45-yard line, first down. Robinson looks over the defense. The give is to Howard, and Howard, the fullback, cracks the right side of the line. The lights are on at Neyland Stadium. This is not a night game, it's an afternoon game, but it's a very, very overcast, foggy day. And the lights are reflected off the rain, which is puddling on the field. Gain on the play by Howard of 4, second down and 6. Once again, Memphis State now back to a 5-man line, and this is Howard up the middle. In on the stop, 97 is Harris, 98 is Fairs. Crane, 32, a linebacker. Gained that time by Howard of 3 yards. So Tennessee will have it third down, leading 14-3. Robinson behind Raleigh McKenzie. This is Howard. Well, I don't know. Howard hops up the middle, and he got 2 yards, and Tennessee is going to be short of a first down. So the Hardy fans, certainly those in orange, are shouting, go for the first down. Let's see what the decision will be. It's fourth down and that much to go, and Tennessee is going to go for the first down. Memphis State brings everybody up on the line of scrimmage. Handoff, Johnny Jones, right side. Yes, he's got a first down as Johnny Jones lunges through the right side of the line. And Tennessee picks it up, first down and 10 to go. Jones now in 7 carries has 73 yards, including a touchdown of 61 yards. Memphis State trailing 14-3. Well, here comes State with everybody up tight on the line, and you see Robinson surveying the defense. He's checking off at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if Memphis State reacts by jumping out of that defense. Not Stowe. Back to throw. Robinson. He's going to lay it up. McGee's trying to run under the ball. Complete. McGee at the 5. Touchdown, Big Orange. Tim McGee with the catch. A second look as he's man on man running a combination route, and Robinson just lays it up, and McGee runs under it. Carter's down there with him, and it's McGee who fights into the end zone, and Tennessee builds its advantage. A third look at Robinson just putting the ball in the air, and McGee running under it, makes the catch, and carries it on into the end zone for the touchdown. Here's Revés to attempt the extra point. Holding will be Sells. Tennessee leading 20-0. The kick is up, and it is blocked. Deflected away, I think, by Harris. So Revés, let's see, coming up to that point, he had made 19 straight this year. All told, he has made 38 consecutive extra points, but that one was blocked. So Tennessee will be kicking off, leading now by a score of 20-3. The touchdown pass was good for 34 yards. Here's the the kick is flagged around, and Tennessee's recovered it. Revés bouncing the kick. I don't think that was an onside kick as such, but it bounced off one of the up linemen, ricocheted back into Tennessee territory, and the Volunteers recover it. Another turnover, and Tennessee has the ball. In Tennessee territory, first down and 10 to go. Ball at the Volunteer 43-yard line. Running back split, Robinson. Pretty good protection. Here's the pass. It is incomplete. Diving after the ball was B.B. Cooper, who had wandered out of the backfield from his fullback position. Second down. Tennessee leading by a score of 20-3. Second quarter of the game at Knoxville. Tony Robinson. A draw. Jones, no. Not much there. Nice reaction by 97. Harris. Hooper, 11, also comes up from his safety position to get in the flow. And so Tennessee will have it third down. Tennessee up 20-3. Third down. Back to throw is Robinson. Here's the pass. It is complete. That's McGee. Fumble. Scramble, and you see the ball's knocked further downfield and racing after it, I think, and yes, Memphis State has recovered. The pass was complete from Robinson to McGee. It would have been enough for the first down. Then the ball was popped free and rolls downfield, so actually as you take a second look, you'll see McGee makes the catch. He has really blasted. The ball squirts free, and then it is ricocheting downfield. Actually, McGee will get credit for a 34-yard gain on the pass. Memphis State into the center of the line. Twisting forward is Williams. And Williams was able to get, maybe a yard or two. Maybe a little more. So it's got to be second down and 6 yards to go. As Memphis State, which has been guilty of 3 turnovers already in the football game, comes to the line of scrimmage. Sparkman, the quarterback. Fumble. And again, Tennessee breaks on the ball, and I think Tennessee's recovered, and that's the situation. Tony Simmons with the recovery. And turnovers on a rainy, rainy day taking their toll for the Tigers. Of course, Tennessee fumbled earlier. There you see the bobble on the snap. The ball squirting along. And there you'll see Tony Simmons. Excellent effort by Simmons, and great, great camera work from the end zone. So Tennessee back on offense, leading by a score of 20-3. The last turnover, Tennessee turned into a touchdown. Robinson, delay. Jones, right side, cuts back to the interior. And this is Johnny Jones knifing forward for a gain of 6 yards. 9 carries, 80 yards for Jones, the all-time rushing career record holder at Tennessee. Set the record against Georgia Tech the last game. Robinson rolling right. Pass caught. That's Howard. Well, Howard's wide open as he goes wandering to the right side as Tennessee sends the wide receivers deep, clearing out the zone. And here you'll see Robinson off play action to Jones, rolling to the right side. Mayo out in front protecting. Howard wide open underneath, makes the catch as the linebackers may be just hanging a bit tight to the inside. And that time Howard comes open to make the catch. It'll be a first down for the Volunteers. 8-yard gain. Jones. Great action. Jones lowering his head as Johnny Jones powers forward for a gain of 7 yards. And it's moved down to the right at the 15-yard line of Memphis State. Tennessee leading by a score of 20-3. Second down upcoming. Nearing the end of the first half of this football game. The Vols up by 20-3, trying to tack another one on, at least perhaps get a field goal out of it. Jones, nothing at all. That's Harris, number 97. And also on the inside helping out of the stop, probably that was Sharp, Octavian Sharp. So it'll be third down upcoming for Tennessee. The river is rising as the drain channels the water off Neyland Stadium, Shields Watkins Field toward the Tennessee River or Fort Loudon Lake, about a good punt away. Tennessee to the line. Third down, right at 3.5, 4 yards to go. Robinson sizes up the defense. Dropping. Good protection. Here's the pass. Complete. That's McGee. Tim McGee makes the catch as Tennessee has moved deeper into Memphis State territory, and the Volunteers, of course, will see the clock stop with the marking of the ball after the first down. Tennessee leading by a score of 20-3. Let's take a second look at the side from the sideline. Robinson with good protection. McGee catching that wet ball and cradles it into his body. Is knocked down by Hooper, but Tennessee will have it first down. First down and goal at the 6-yard line. Robinson. Pass. There's Howard. 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tennessee. Robinson to Howard. Same play action on the fake to Wilson. You'll see Howard is wide open as the linebackers caught just a little to the inside. Sharp comes over to make the play, but there's Howard into pay dirt. And Tennessee builds its lead to 26-3. Now let's see if the Vols will try for two. Not so. They're going to go for the extra point, as the point try immediately before this was blocked. So here's Fuad Reves trying to start a new string after seeing the previous one stopped at 38. This is up the pride of the Southland Band, and you'll hear the roar for him as he's presented. There it is right there. Charlie Daniels was on the Vol Radio Network kickoff call-in show and will be featured later this season in a Johnny Majors show segment on the UTV network. He's singing the Tennessee Waltz as Tennessee leads 27-3. The Volunteers got long runs from Jones and Robinson, passes to McGee and to Howard for touchdowns. Memphis State guilty of 3 turnovers by fumbles, 1 on a pass interception. So 4 turnovers have been costly for the Tigers of Memphis State. Charlie Daniels singing the Tennessee Waltz says the rain pours on everybody at Neyland Stadium. Right now, 10 seconds for station identification. This is the UTV. 27-3, as our director-producer says, there's rain on the rug. There has been throughout the game. Ernie Robertson and Mark Dyer producing the show, and right here we take this opportunity to say what a job is being done by this UTV crew. It's raining on them as well, and they have done quite a job in covering this game for you thus far. Let's see what happens here as Tennessee will be kicking off, and this is Fuad Revez. Drilling it downfield, and Memphis State gets the ball at the 5. Back to the 10. This will be breaking it free. Beautiful run to the 25, to the 30. Still on his feet past midfield. Racing all the way downfield into Tennessee territory. And that should have been the receiver. That's who it was, Jackson. Enos Jackson, who is not normally the kickoff returner. He was back there with Harris, who normally gets it, but he grabbed the ball and breaks to the far side. Watch this cutback. And this is Enos Jackson. Brilliant run by Jackson, who is from Helena, Arkansas. And Memphis State goes on offense, first down and 10 to go at the 42-yard line of the Volunteers. So Sparkman sparks his team to the line. He's lost in the glare. There's the pass to the left side, and it's complete to the fullback, Clayton. And Clayton maneuvers forward for a gain of 5 yards on the play before he's tackled. Once more, the glare you see is there because the lights are on, and it's beaming down on the glassine type surface, which is super turf. And actually, the traction isn't all that bad, although obviously where it's in a puddle, it's got to be very treacherous. Second down, 5 yards to go. Memphis State trailing 27-3. Williams, right side, first down and then some. Written down by Joe Kofer, but Williams, the senior from Humboldt, Tennessee, has picked up the first down. I said Williams, it's 43, not 33. This is Womack from McMinnville. Jeff Womack, a sophomore from McMinnville, who's come on here, and he carried the ball. So Williams, who started the game, has been relieved, and Womack is in there. This year, Womack has gained 366 yards. This is Womack again, right side. Womack battling for yardage, and this time a gain of close to first down yardage. Womack now has carried the ball 7 times for 40 yards. Give him 9 on that one. Watch the blocking up front from this big line. Memphis State has one offensive tackle, 294, one at 307 pounds on the right side, Long, a lineman from Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, as you see, it's a bit short, so as we said, it will be officially 9 yards on the game. Second down, about a yard to go. Memphis State trailing, but moving deeper and deeper into Tennessee territory. That's Womack. I don't know. I think he got the first down, slicing over the right side of the line and moving it forward for the first down. Let's take a second look as Jeff Womack follows the blocking of Clayton, but then coming from behind and making the play is Dale Jones. Great pursuit by Jones, the big play man from Cleveland. It'll be, however, as we mentioned, first down and 10 to go. First and 10 as Womack carries for the first down. Ball rests at the 17-yard line. This is Womack turning to the 15 and is bumped out of bounds. So Jeff Womack carries the ball, this time for a gain of 3 yards, and he has carried it 1, 2, 3, 4 straight times. 9 carries, 46 yards for Womack. 5'8", 175-pound sophomore. Tennessee digging in defensively, but Memphis State, which trailed 27-3 at halftime, comes back with a brilliant kickoff return by Enos Jackson, and now they've just turned the ball over to Womack, who has gone time after time running with that football. There you can see it rests inside Tennessee's 10-yard line as Memphis State comes to the line of scrimmage. Most of the fans still there, you can see in the background, and most of them are drenched, as are the players. Memphis State to the line of scrimmage. Power I set. This will be Womack trying the right side of the line, as it was first down and goal at the 5-yard line. And Womack moves for a couple of yards down to the 3. Memphis State Power I still set to the right side. Sparkman checking the defense. This is Womack up the middle. No, nothing there. He is stacked up. And you'll see them peel off. 31 is Duncan. 20 is Benton. 95 in the middle is Bennett. Tennessee's got a 6-man front. There you'll see the run by Womack, and Tennessee stuffed it up. And powering through at the bottom, 14 from behind. That will be Terry Brown who comes across. Third down, still goal to go. The ball rests, as you see, at the 2-yard line. Tennessee leading 27-3. This time they load the Power I to the left side. Womack, the tailback. Pitch, Womack turned inside. He stopped short. That's Joe Cofer, who fills the gap as Kramer is the man who turned the play in from his cornerback position. He came up to take away the wide spot. You can see it here. There's the pitch. Now you'll see Womack thinking about going wide, but he's turned in. I think it was Brown, not Kramer. 14 turned the play in. And then coming in to fill the gap is Cofer. So it's got to be 4th down and goal to go. On the play, there's a penalty marker down, and Tennessee is going to be penalized half the distance to the goal for a personal foul. So Memphis State has another try. Beckton is in there at tailback. It's Beckton. No, he didn't make it. Tennessee has stopped Memphis State. Memphis State with actually 5 tries inside the 5-yard line, and the Volunteers stop them. 95 Bennett, 42 Cofer. Tennessee's offensive line coming in to replace. Let's take a second look. The pitch to Beckton. Beckton tries to get wide. Turned in by Benton. Here is Joe Cofer. There's Terry Brown, and Beckton did not score. There's timeout on the field with a score, Tennessee 27, Memphis State 3. So actually, Memphis State had 4 shots inside the 5, and they were unable to score. Now Tennessee has the ball at the Volunteer 26-yard line. Robinson in trouble. Oh, and he's pounded down. That's Tony Robinson being sacked for -5 on the play. He's carried the ball 4 times for 64 yards in the game, including a touchdown scamper of 25 yards. The Volunteers leading 27-3. Robinson. Here's the blitz. Crane, the man blitzing. Robinson is knocked down by Trell Hooper, coming up from his safety position. But on the play, a penalty marker is down. And the officials are conferring. Memphis State will conclude its regular season against Tulane in the final game a week from today, and Tennessee will be moving to Jackson, Mississippi in its next outing against the Ole Miss Rebels. The penalty is a face mask violation against Memphis State, and it will move it back about where Tennessee began this series at the 26-yard line. Second down upcoming. The Vols lead 27-3. Robinson seeing that defense shift, continuing to move, and he steps in to ask for a timeout, just barely beating the play clock, which had ticked down to 1 second when Robinson stopped it with the timeout. So Tennessee avoids a penalty for delay of game, and the Volunteers come back to the line of scrimmage. Running backs are split. That's Wilson in there to your left, and on the right side is Howard. Second down, 10 yards to go. Robinson, is hit just as he releases the pass. It was intended this time for Howard. Changed that. B.B. Cooper was playing fullback. On the play, Tennessee guilty of holding. But Memphis State declines as the Vols give this time to Wilson on the third down try, and the freshman from Pritchard, Alabama, cracks the right side of the line for a gain of 4 yards, but it's far short of the first. So into the game for the Volunteers will be Jimmy Colquitt to punt. Senior from Knoxville, averaging 43 yards per punt this year. A 4-year starter for the Volunteers. And so Memphis State has deep to receive Harris as Colquitt bangs that wet ball, sending a wobbly spiral, fumbled, and Tennessee has recovered another Memphis State turnover. The recovery made by the junior from Cleveland, Chris White. Here you'll see Harris racing after the ball, trying to make the catch of a wet ball on the run, and he loses the handle right there, reaches to try to save it. The ball bounces away, and Chris White very alertly is on top of the ball. Here's a look from upstairs as you'll see the ball bobbled, volleyballed around, and number 7, Chris White, really made quite a play to recover the ball, and Tennessee back in business. First down and 10 to go. Ball rests at the 46-yard line of Memphis State. Robinson again is checking off as Memphis State comes with that gambling defense. A lot of people on the line, as you see. Quarterback Robinson, handoff Wilson, breaks it. Wilson, 40, 35, 30. He's going to go all the way. It will be another touchdown, Tennessee. Charles Wilson finds an opening in the center of the line, blocking up front that time by McKenzie and Mayo. Let's see, you'll see Mayo pulling. There's Mayo sealing it off, and cutting back off Mayo's block is Wilson. And once he gets past the line of scrimmage, there's simply nobody left. Wilson all the way, 46 yards for the touchdown. Beautiful offensive line play, and Tennessee widens the gap. It was 27-3, now 33-3, and in to attempt the extra point will be Fuad Reveiz. That drive, 46 yards in one play, uses 8 seconds. The extra point is up, and Reveiz splits them this time. And so Tennessee leads by a score of 34-3 over Memphis State. 1 week ago, Memphis State carried the fight to Georgia before losing. Let's take another look at the run by Charles Wilson. 67, that's Bill Mayo. 52, that's McKenzie. 32, that's Wilson all by himself. He's just going to race 46 yards for the touchdown. Earlier, Tennessee's number 1 tailback, Johnny Jones, went 61. This time it's Wilson. And trailing him, that's Carter signaling a touchdown. Tennessee leading. As we told you, the UTV staff is on top of things. Windy, rainy, it doesn't matter. Here's the kick. It's a bouncer. Memphis State, 15, 20. That's Harris carrying the ball out close to the 30-yard line. And he will be stopped at that point. So Memphis State needing something very, very big to happen, trailing by the score of 34-3. Back to throw. New quarterback in there. Pass downfield, complete. Ball down here by Lovelady. Fumble! And a scramble for this one. Let's see who comes out of there with the ball. It has been recovered by Tennessee. Reggie McKenzie with his second fumble recovery of the football game. The quarterback in there for Memphis State now is Farrell. And there you'll see the signal as Tennessee has recovered. Reggie McKenzie. And there's Carl Zander as his defensive compatriots have come to life in this game. Farrell's pass. It's complete. Now watch Tennessee's pursuit. 45 Zander. 20, I think, forced the fumble. Zander was right there, 20 being Benton. Now you'll see the ball bouncing around, being kicked around. McKenzie, 51, reaches out. No problem at all, just recover it. Tennessee on offense as his twin brother, Raleigh McKenzie, is the center for the Volunteers. Tennessee leading 34-3. Howard with running room. Tennessee comes with a split back situation this time, and Howard crunches forward for a gain of 8 yards. Ball moved from the 37 to the 29. Tennessee getting some other people in. 70 is Upton on offense. We'll try to get them all. Hibbett is number 60. 67 Mayo is there. And Tennessee has the ball. Second down, about 2.5 yards to go. And this is Howard lunging forward for first down yardage in the play. As Duvall's offensively in the line, a lot of people have played. Williams and Smith and Bartley and Upton and Galbraith and Mayo and McKenzie and Hibbett and Kurt and Wilkerson and Bruin and Douglas. Tennessee not at all at one time, but Tennessee has the ball, and it will be first down. Tennessee leading in the game by a score of 34-3. Ball just inside the 25-yard line. Robinson sizing up the defense. Tony Robinson. Play action. Rolling right. Being pursued by Fairs. Big block pass complete. Smith. 10-5. Touchdown. Jeff Smith, greeted by Todd Upton. Play action. Let's see who gets this peel black block here. That's 52, Raleigh McKenzie. So the McKenzie brothers are making themselves known. The fumble recovery by Reggie sets up this touchdown drive as it goes to the Milan junior, Jeff Smith, from Tony Robinson. And Tennessee builds its lead to 40-3. And here will be Fuad Reves to attempt the extra point as we near the end of the third quarter of this football game at Neyland Stadium. To the end zone, giving you a clear shot of the extra point try. It's perfect, as you see, so there's time out on the field. With the score, Tennessee 41, Memphis State 3. It's windy, and that is a cool, almost cold breeze at Neyland Stadium as the rain continues to pour down, and some of the fans, announced at 94,000 plus, have left. So perhaps the crowd level, the noise level you're used to at Neyland Stadium, may be down just a bit. Here's Farrell in there to throw that football. It's complete. Farrell is a junior from Camarillo, California, at quarterback, replacing Sparkman, who started. And this time the catch is made by the tight end. And that's Blaylock. There's the pass. Blaylock comes open. And Tennessee's got Lavoisier Fisher in there. And also Kelly Ziegler at linebacker, as the Vols get a lot of people into action, both offensively and defensively. This is Womack struggling to the right side. 51 McKenzie, 40 is Fisher, 62 McAdams, 22 Davis, 49 over there. Helping out for Tennessee is Welsh. No, that's Ziegler, excuse me. So it will be Memphis State, 4th down and a yard. They got to go for the first down. Tennessee brings people up there defensively. Farrell in trouble. Going to be escapes. This is Farrell running with the football. And he moves forward before finally tackled by Fisher and Ziegler, but he's got a first down. Fine effort by Farrell. Steve Farrell, who was an inch from being sacked for a sizable loss. You can see Tennessee getting the pressure on, and he just somehow escapes running up the middle and converts a loss into a first down. Fisher, nice reaction to get there, but not until Memphis State keeps this drive alive. And as we said, a lot of people have left. Now, most of those, well, a lot of people, I should say, have gotten back under the upper deck in the east, south, and west stands and under the roof that covers portions of the north stands. Back to throw Farrell. Long pass downfield is intercepted. Victor Peppers. A brilliant interception. For a minute, it appeared that the receiver, Thompson, might have broken open for a touchdown. Let's take another look. From the sideline angle, there you see Thompson. He's got a stride, but you can see Peppers is playing the ball all the way. And look at that catch. Victor Peppers, a freshman from Albany, New York. Now let's go to the end zone, and you'll see another just as sterling play. This could be, in a game of big plays, just a brilliant play by Peppers. And Tennessee stops the drive, but now the Volunteers are backed up deep in Tennessee territory. Darrell Dickey will be in there at quarterback. At center, that's going to be for Tennessee Hibbett. We'll set that offensive line. Carrying the ball forward is William Howard. Hibbett, number 50, will get 75s in that football game. That's Bruin, who is a tackle. 57 in there is Darrell Smith. 11 is Darrell Dickey, Tennessee. Deep in its own territory after the pass interception by Peppers. And Dickey looking over the defense. Again, it's Howard. Not much there. Tennessee began this series back at the 1, and the Volunteers have fought it out to the 6-yard line, where it will be for the Volunteers' third down. Darrell Dickey from Gainesville, Florida, but he played his high school football in Boulder, Colorado. Rolling to the left side. He's got to pull it down and run, and he's knocked down at the 7-yard line. Tennessee leading by a score of 41-3. On the play, Tennessee guilty of holding. Memphis State declines the penalty, and so it will be Jimmy Colquitt in to punt from his own end zone. A wet ball, a heavy ball. And Colquitt is ready to get the punt out. Waiting for the snap as we go to the sideline. The punt is blocked. It is blocked. Picked up by Memphis State. Squirming, squishing, and finally ending up at the 1-yard line. And so the Tigers will have the ball first down and goal at the 1-yard line. The punt is blocked. And I'm not sure who got it. Perhaps we can see right here. Here's Colquitt getting the snap. Gets the punt away, and it is Elder, the cornerback on the left side, who comes racing through to block it. You see it ricocheting out there to the 6-yard line. Scooped up. Then fumbled again. And Brandon is the man who finally ends up with the football at the 1-yard line. There you see, it'll be first down and goal. Big turnover, a blocked punt as the defense for Memphis State comes up with a big play. Farrell still at quarterback. Tennessee digs in. Power eye set. This is Womack trying. I don't know. I think he was stopped short again. As the Volunteers unstack from that goal line defense. And it is indeed short of the touchdown, so Memphis State will have it second down and goal. Earlier, Tennessee came up with a big goal line stand, stopping Memphis State 4 tries inside the 5 and taking over on downs. Memphis State with Farrell. Womack, he's knocked down, and penetrating from the corner is Victor Peppers. That's Peppers, who came untouched from his alignment on the right side, showed the quickness and just blocked him down. Take a second look. Womack getting the ball, and here all of a sudden, there's Peppers as soon as the ball gets there, and then 39 is Welsh in, 49 Ziegler, 46 Messimer. A lot of young people as Coach Majors and defensive coordinator Larry Marmee and his staff leaving Tennessee's reserve unit in there, and they're digging in defensively. It's going to be third down, still goal to go. As Memphis State comes to the line. Tennessee leading in the game by a score of 41-3. Power eye set right. Quarterback is Farrell. Tennessee might have jumped. And then the give is to the fullback, who pounds the middle. But Tennessee might have moved in the center. Where they drawn off, time will tell. Offsides, Tennessee. So the penalty will move the ball half the distance to the goal, and that's about a yard. About a half a yard, I should say. Memphis State trailing 41-3. Tennessee defensively digging in once more. Memphis State in the power eye set. Womack, no, he didn't make it. So Tennessee has stopped Memphis State. This will now make 7 down. 7 times Memphis State has thrusted Tennessee in 2 goal line stands. The Volunteers digging in, and let's see what happens here. 4th down and inches. Another look as the give goes, and coming from the corner to make the stop, Tennessee's Welsh is there. And Memphis State breaks the huddle. It's 4th down and inches. Same power eye set. Tennessee trying to get under. Here is Farrell keeping, escaping. Touchdown, Memphis State. So Farrell faked the give to Womack, tucked the ball, and spins around the right side to carry it in to score. So Memphis State converts a blocked punt into a touchdown. And here to attempt the extra point will be Glosson. Ball snap, fumble, racing after the ball. This will be a desperation pass into the end zone that is intercepted by Tennessee's Terry Brown. There's time out on the field with the score. Tennessee 41, Memphis State 9. After the Memphis State touchdown, Tennessee received the kick. The Volunteers keeping the ball on the ground, but getting excellent effort from Pete Paduska and Jim Miller. The quarterback is Daryl Dickey. In this drive that has moved down to the 5-yard line of Memphis State, Paduska has run for 18, and this is Pete Paduska again struggling it down to the 2-yard line. Paduska, who is a sophomore from Brick, New Jersey. Jim Miller, a sophomore from Nashville. Daryl Dickey, a junior from Gainesville, Florida. We've mentioned the names of the offensive line, as David Douglas is now in there at a guard. No, he's at a tackle, and playing next to him is Bruin. This is Dickey. Second down, Tennessee leading. Dickey pitches. This is Paduska through the right side. And just short of the goal line. Pete Panuska struggling over right tackle. Let's take a second look. Pulling, that's Jim Miller, 25 out front leading. Bruin downfield leading. B.B. Cooper in there in the power I set. Panuska just short. The hardy souls who remain at Neyland Stadium. They'll probably be there Sunday morning as Tennessee comes to the line once more. Darrell Dickey at quarterback. The Volunteers in the power I set. Memphis State digging in, trying to thwart this drive by the Volunteers, who lead 41-9. Dickey, the quarterback. Fumble. I don't know. There's a struggle for the ball. I think that Hibbett might have recovered the ball. He is the center. And it will be Tennessee 4th down and that much to go for the score. 41-9. Darrell Dickey, the quarterback, on 4th down, has looked to the sideline for the call. Dickey. And as he tries to get into the end zone, there's a bobble, and it has been recovered by Memphis State. So the Memphis State defense comes to life and stops Tennessee. Here you'll see Dickey faking the give. Dickey then lost the handle. The ball just bounded away from Dickey. And Memphis State has Octavian Sharp on top of the ball. So the Tigers will have it. 1st down at the Memphis State 5-yard line. Tennessee clings to a 41-9 lead. Back to throw. Farrell, long pass is going to be incomplete. That's Victor Peppers getting a hand up to deflect it away. The quarterback is Steve Farrell. Memphis State trailing 41-9. Hand off to a new running back in there, and that will be Tracy Holmes. It is. Holmes slanting through the right side of the line, slithers forward for a gain on the play of close to right at 5 yards, maybe more, closer to 8. So it's got to be 3rd down and 2. Memphis State handoff, and this time waiting on the running back Holmes is Tennessee defensively, and so there's no gain on the play. That was Cooper carrying the ball, actually. So it will be 4th down, and in the punt from his own end zone will be Stevens, who's had quite an afternoon. The snap, Stevens left puts it away and hits another fine punt. Tennessee runs away from the ball, and it takes a good Memphis State roll and rolls out of bounds in Tennessee territory in the vicinity of the 35-yard line. Stevens has come on to punt for the injured, or I should say ill, Wally Hatfield, the normal punter, and Stevens has done a tremendous job. Tennessee with the ball. Handoff goes to William Howard. Chase that. Pete Panuska, 35, not 6, carrying the ball through the left side of the line. And so now in 6 carries, Panuska has picked up 35 yards. Jim Miller, the fullback for Tennessee, has carried it twice for 19. And this is Miller up the middle, and Miller has a 1st down as the sophomore from Nashville, Father Ryan powers forward for a 5-yard gain as the football game comes to a close. Tennessee wins it. We'll be back to talk to Coach Johnny Majors in just 1 minute.
Tennessee locker room with a soggy but happy Coach Johnny Majors. A good effort today.
Yeah, a little wet, Bob, but heck, fire. We could be a lot wetter than this in days like today, and never mind what happened. I just, if we did anything bad today, I don't even want to think about it, because we did so many good things that I am so pleased about. It's hard to even express it. We had an outstanding game plan all the way around, and I take my hat off to the great preparation our offensive staff made and the great way that our offensive team executed the offensive game plan in a very wet, muggy day, or sloppy day. Terrific execution offensively. Defensively, we played, I think, better than we played any time this year. A lot better tackling, I thought, tackling higher, knocking people back, pursuing the football, and a lot of reckless, enjoyable, exciting play all the way around, in my opinion. I'm just deeply pleased with the entire effort and entire ball game. Much bigger victory than you can imagine, scoring that many points against the 6th best defensive ranked team in the country.
Memphis State was trying to come back in the second half. 27-3, Tennessee was leading. They had it 4th and goal at the 1, and Joe Kofer, a big play that really swung the momentum back.
Our defensive unit played awfully well inside that 5-yard line today. Not only in that series, not only the Joe Kofer, which was a big play. Our defensive team really stiffened their backs there and did a terrific job backed up there. and even our number 2 unit late in the game. I like that spirit. That's the same type of spirit our offensive team had against Florida. We kept coming back down the field even in the last seconds of the ball game, and that will pay off, in my opinion. Just pleased all the way around.
Memphis State had a gambling defense. A lot of times they had 8 men on the line of scrimmage, sometimes 9. But it seemed like they had just one wave. Once you got past that, you had a pretty big play.
Well, you never know. Sometimes your best laid plans fall awry or whatever. And we felt like if we were going to be able to test Memphis State better than anybody had tested them this year, we don't feel like they faced an offense that had some of the things that ours had in it, and it proved a great day for us. Not only the plan, the execution, Tony Robinson, our quarterback, just did a marvelous job of getting us some good plays that we worked on for a week and a half.
I know that a sloppy field like this is a concern, but really offensively you executed pretty well despite the condition.
Oh, outstanding execution, outstanding. Only one thing was the fumble going in, and Johnny Jones had such a great day. You put that in the back of your mind, but that was the only thing I can remember was really bad besides the block punt. But there were a multitude of outstanding plays to offset that many times over.
Now, Coach, you've got 3 big, important Southeastern Conference games coming up.
You're not kidding. We're in the stretch run in the 4th quarter of our schedule, and we've played better each week. We've been a team that has overcome a lot of adversity, Bob. 8 people lost for the season, and some key people out today. But the point is this: we've closed ranks and kept our spirit, and the attitude has been outstanding. Told our team before the game today, I says, you guys have practiced so well last week and the off week, and so well this week. I said, you practice better every day. Let's go out and play the second half better than the first if we can. I have no complaints at all about our great attitude.
Yeah, you said, I think, during the week that this was one of the best weeks of practices you've had here at Tennessee.
We have. We've had a great attitude all year long. And we're going to be challenged greatly the next 3 weeks because they're all traditional, emotional rivalries, and we'll have to play to the top of our abilities each Saturday, just like we've had to play in the course of the season, because we can win them all, we can lose them all, or tie them, just like the rest of our prior season stuff.
Coach Majors, congratulations on the win. Go get a shower, get dry, and enjoy the victory a while.
I'm looking forward to getting a good hot shower. Bye, guys. It's fun to get wet when you win like this.
Well, thanks to Coach Johnny Majors. Back to talk with players of the Volunteers in just a moment. The Tennessee locker room, Bob Kessling, along with some of the victorious members of the Volunteers, one of those being middle guard Robbie Scott from Decatur, Tennessee. Robbie, the challenge this week was going up against the huge offensive line, and you guys held your own.
Yes, I think we did a good job of going against. We knew that there's going to be big and physical, and I think we just did a good job of handling the line of scrimmage.
Robbie, I'm sure that the team is very happy about the defensive efforts of the past. It seems like the past 3 weeks you've gotten better each week.
Yes, I think we've kept improving. Every day of practice we've improved a little bit more, and I think we're finally coming through.
The momentum is starting to build, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is.
I guess the key thing is just to keep it going, right?
Right.
It's linebacker Joe Kofer from Knoxville. Joe had a big 4th and goal stop against the Tigers. Joe, it seemed like that play really helped fire the Tennessee defense back up and swung the momentum back.
Yes, we was fired up from when we went into the game, and we know that we had to stop them, and so they was doing all that talking. So we just went in and stopped them from doing all that talking.
It seemed to be a very emotional game. A few tempers flaring out there at times.
I guess it was, but we didn't pay it no attention. We just kept on playing the way we was playing.
Joe, you made the switch from strong safety to linebacker a couple of weeks ago, and it seems like you're finally getting the feel of it in there.
Yes, I am. At first, it was hard for me to get used to it, the feel of linebacker. But right now, it's coming along pretty good. I'm taking on the blocks, not going behind them like I did last week. I've been taking them on. Doing pretty good at it.
Yeah, but you enjoy the contact too, don't you, Joe?
Yeah, I love it. I love defense.
Raleigh McKenzie, Tennessee center, also from Knoxville. Raleigh, I guess today was one of the biggest challenges for you. You went up against a tough Memphis State defense and really handled them.
Yeah, we went in the game, felt like, they was ranked, like, I think number 6 in the nation as far as overall defense. And they were like number 1 in pass defense, We felt like going in the game, they had two good, strong cornerbacks, that could play good and tough man-to-man. And we felt like we had to, hit the inside pretty good, And we pretty well handled our defensive line. And, cause they had a couple of guys who had got hurt in the Georgia game. And against Georgia, they came out second half, held Georgia 17 total yards. And we felt like when we came in second half, we said we couldn't let up. We had to keep on pounding. We kept on pounding.
Well, let's talk about Johnny Jones's touchdown run. That really seemed to set the tone for things. They stacked 4 guys right in front of you, and the hole just opened.
I mean, I really didn't know what was how. All I saw was my man and the man stack. I didn't know there was four
of them. Yeah.
So I just said, well, this is my man. I had to get that man, and the other guy was just sprinting, and we picked it up perfectly. We felt that they was gonna give us a whole lot of different looks, trying to stop our run, and Johnny just made a beautiful run to the end zone.
It's Tim McGee, wide receiver of the Volunteers, got a touchdown pass today. Tim, the weather didn't seem to affect you very much.
Well, first I'd like to thank God for the things he gave me. And as far as the weather going, we wasn't going to let the weather stop us. Offensively, we were going to still do the things we wanted to do, which was to get them out, a bumper run coverage, and before we can run the ball, and exactly what happened.
They just lined up, they showed you what they're going to do, and just dared you to beat them, and you did.
Yeah, they've been doing that all year, to the previous team they have played, and our coaches felt we're going to have nobody really try to beat them deep, and we was going to go right at them from the first play of the game, and that's exactly what we did.
You scored one. You almost had another one, but Terrell Hooper made a great play to stop you.
Oh, he did. I really didn't think he was back there, and I was taking my time. I thought I had everybody beat, and when I turned back, he hit my sore ankle, and it was down from there.
I guess it was fun, though, jumping out to the big lead. That's something Tennessee hadn't done lately.
Yeah, it gave us a lot of confidence. Once we got on top, we felt we were not going to look back, and we were just going to form more steam, and we felt we couldn't stop. If we didn't stop ourselves, well, nobody going to stop us.
This is Jesse Messimer, who made a name for himself on the kickoff teams early. Now is playing quite a bit of linebacker. Congratulations on a big win today, Jesse.
Well, thanks, sir.
What about the Memphis State offense? Did they do anything that surprised you today?
No, they did basically what Coach Marmee had said they was going to do. They come out running isolations and sweeps, and we had prepared for them well.
I guess the key thing was just to execute and don't let them break the big play, and they didn't.
Yeah, that's the key thing. Big plays have hurt us before, and that's what we needed to stop was a big play, and they didn't get but one long run, I think, of the whole day. So I think defense excelled pretty much today.
Jesse, what about all the playing time you're getting? That surprised you a little bit?
I love it. Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't figure I would get much playing time at all coming in as a freshman. But I got in on kickoff. Now I'm working in on defense and every now and then, and I love it as a freshman. I do.
So the Volunteers will try and dry out, enjoy the victory for a while. Next week, head to Jackson, Mississippi. This is Bob Kessling reporting from the Tennessee locker room. John Ward back to wrap things up in just a moment.